This is the future. Evolution.
Welcome, everyone. Just like what I announced on my community post, we will be taking a look at more explosive synergies. If you think those synergies from my recent video are awesome, then you are in for a ride, as I will show you more of this insane explosive madness. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the video. Let's begin this with the Dead Razor, Necros. Having an explosive weapon at hand is a refreshing way for me to play the Lord of the Dead. I always bring a slash-based melee weapon when I'm playing Necros to maximize his desecrate ability, but it wouldn't hurt to try a different setup, especially if you will have some fun with every explosive shot. To build this synergy, you need the Shield of Shadows and Despoil Augment. Shield of Shadows will give you damage redirection, which means that every damage dealt by the enemies to you will be redirected to your minions. Also, when you are linked to your minion, you won't get staggered. Despoil will take care of energy efficiency for this build. It pairs well with Equilibrium, and in fact, this build is pretty solid when you want to farm solo in any long endurance runs. It's very tanky, and quite fun to use with explosive weaponry. The next one is Nova. This frame doesn't just slow down enemies, making it easier to aim them with your explosive weapons, but it also will give you the enjoyment of nuking enemies with her antimatter drop. The feeling of blasting enemies with your ability and an explosive gun is very satisfying. To make this synergy worthwhile, try to build your Nova with lots of duration, plus the molecular fission augment. Your goal here is to slow down enemies with your molecular prime, kill them with either your explosive weapon or antimatter drop ability, and regain a particle for your first ability, which makes you tanky. The next one is Loot Momakora. This is the same synergy as Vorban. You group enemies with her ensnare ability, and then murder them with any explosive weapons. In terms of modding, you will need a high range, high efficiency build for this synergy. Such a build will allow you to cast ensnare whenever you want, and mostly bind almost all enemies in a room. Next in the line is Wukong. What's deadlier than a Monkey King holding a Coover Brammer? Two Monkey Kings both using a Coover Brammer. If you want to use this synergy, remember not to equip any melee weapon. This way, your Celestial Twin will also wield the same primary weapon you are using. For the build, I balance strength and duration. Most players go with pure strength so that the clone will have big health values. However, I value Wukong's other abilities. That is why I mix my build up. Just remember to equip primed sure-footed on Wukong to negate the stagger from your explosive weapon, and give Wukong anti-knockdown as well. By the way, the empty slot is for the mod of your choice. If I had an extra former, then I would go with Streamline. Aside from Wukong, you can use a Duality Equinox for an explosive synergy. Just add lots of duration and the Duality mod on your build. Compared to Wukong, Equinox's clone will do more damage but will have lesser survivability. So, I suggest that you use Void Shadow on the Anaru focus to render your clone invisible. The next two explosive synergies are dear to me, and to explain how to use them in a detailed fashion. The first one is Harrow with any explosive weaponry. Right now, I'm using the combination of Coover Brammer and the Rakta Dark Dagger. In the past, I'm always camping with Harrow in long endurance runs, but that changed now because of shield gating. Right now, I can freely choose between fighting close or range against enemies with my Harrow, without worrying about getting one-shotted by high-level enemies. The idea of this synergy is pretty simple. You use your Rakta Dark Dagger to regenerate shield while killing enemies at the same time. And then, you can also use your explosive weaponry to kill enemies faster, which will regenerate your energy with the help of Thurible. It's really a flexible build that you can use especially in long endurance runs. Now here are the builds. For my Coover Brammer, I use the same Viral Hunter munitions build. The damage output of this build will get stronger probably, since we will be using Harrow's Covenant ability to boost its critical chance also. For the Rakta Dark Dagger, it's all about having is the most status chance you can get in your build. I choose Viral for the element also, since this dagger already has innate radiation, which then helps us proc the unique mechanic of this melee weapon to give us shield after killing a radiated enemy. And of course, Go with condition overload for more damage and most importantly, primed reach so you can hit multiple enemies. Lastly, for my Harrow build, it's a mean max build for long endurance runs. This will allow you to use Harrow's kit effectively. Just don't forget to add primed sure-footed as it's very important for this synergy. For those asking why I did not choose to equip Lasting Covenant, it's because the invulnerability is quite helpful when paired with shield gating. The moment you are in a dire situation, you can just simply pop up this ability to instantly have time to recover. The last synergy, and my favorite one, is the synergy between Gauss and Coover Brammer. Unlike Harrow, there's Gauss don't need any melee weapon for survivability as he got everything he needs on his kit. He got his kinetic plating for anti-stagger. He also got his thermal sunder to freeze enemies, and most importantly, he got lots of speed that allows you to move and nuke a spot in just a blink of an eye. If you want a fast and furious nuking gameplay, then Gauss is your frame. When it comes to build, I go with a well-balanced, flexible build. Max efficiency and energy are the most important mods for this build, since we will be casting his abilities pretty often. The next one would be duration. And lastly, survivability mods plus sprint speed. So that's all about it, lads. If you got more explosive synergy that I did not mention on this video, or in the previous video, then go share it on the comment box below. Don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed watching it and subscribe if you want more informative content and giveaways. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.
This is the future. Evolution.